Hi everybody, thank you for joining me today. We are going to make a really cool shelf. It is this shelf here you see, and we're going to put it on a Lazy Susan so that you can turn it and use all the sides. So if you're interested in learning how we do this with foam core board, keep watching. So to get started, first of all, you're going to need about 2 pieces of your 20 by 30 foam core board from your local Walmart or Dollar General. This one here is 88 cents from Walmart. It has this tag here. If it has this tag, it's the 88 cents. Anyway, you need 2 pieces of foam core board. You need a sharp X-Acto knife and some kind of ruler to do precise cuts with. I'm going to be using this, and I've got me one of my mats, and I'll be using that. And then also you'll need a hot glue gun with some glue sticks. So that's what we'll need to be doing this, so stick with me. And here we want 2 10 by 20 pieces. So since I've got it on the side, that's 30 inches. So we're going to cut 2 pieces at 10 inches wide. Try to hold your X-Acto knife straight when you cut. We got one 10 by 20. Now we need one more. Alright, and we have this extra piece, and you'll see what we're going to do with this part next. So we want to make this board. We want to draw a line at 5 inches. Okay? Draw that with your pencil. Okay? Now what we want to do is we want to scoot it over like a 1/16 of an inch, an 1/8 at the biggest. We just want the center to be the width of the foam core board. So just look at your foam core board here and kind of figure out, use the center, and then draw how thick you think this foam core board is on here. So I'm going to come over probably about an 1/8 of an inch, and then go on the other side of the center line about an 1/8 of an inch as well. So your center line is your guide. Okay? So now we have 3 lines. Now, as you can see, they're not perfect, but when we cut, they're going to fit this board, which is about 3/16 of an inch wide, thick. Okay? Next, we want to do it to the second board as well. So we want the center of both of these boards centered out. So we'll do that now. Alright, so we've got both of our lines drawn on both of our boards. Now what we want to do is remember that our board is 20 inches long. So we want to find the center of the 20 inches. And I'm going to lay it on my mat. Since it's 20 inches, I want the exact center, which would be 10 inches. Okay? And we're going to take our pencil and we'll do a little mark here in the middle. Just make a line across those 3 lines. Okay? This shows us the very center. Now we want to do that again with this board. Next, we're going to cut these outer lines only on 1/2 of the board. Stop where we marked the center there. So only those lines come out of this part of the board. So make sure your board is good and straight. And we'll take our X-Acto knife and we're going to just cut, keep it straight as you can. We're going to cut down to that line, like so. Okay? Go over it a couple times, make sure it's cut. Okay? And then we're going to scoot over and cut, that's the 3rd line. Try to make sure your knife is straight. Remember that, everybody. And if you have to make a couple stripes down, that's okay. So now we've got those 2 lines cut. See, it's splitting there. Now we're going to cut down that center line. You don't need a ruler to do this part. Just Try not to overcut, but we want to cut those lines right there and try to get it cut out real nice. Okay, now look at that. This should just come out like so. And now you have a cutout. Okay? So we're going to do that same thing to this other board. Okay? So let's do that. Okay, so now we have both of our pieces. We both have them cut in half at the 10 mark. Okay, so they both have a cutout. So next we're going to put them together like a crisscross shape. So you take them and you put one in the middle over this one. This helps you to have a good sturdy connection. You see how we did that right there? It makes an X, okay? Next, we're going to put some hot glue on all this area, all the way down on all sides. Your glue to make your board so it'll stay where you want it. Just kind of line it up here at the top with this board. Okay, give it a minute and let it dry. And this stuff is really sturdy. This foam core board is really sturdy, so you'd be surprised what you can do with this stuff. Once you get started playing with foam core boards, you're going to be addicted. I promise you that. Take it from me, because I'm addicted. Okay, so that's how you make this part. Alright, next we need to measure this. If you measure it, it's 4 3/4, about 4 3/4 on the width. But we're going to go ahead and cut this extra piece that we had at 5 inches. And it's 10 inches, so that'll give us 2 pieces to make our centers with. Make sure everything is lined up nice and neat. Then we're going to take our X-Acto knife and cut that board right down at 5. So now we have 2 5 by 20s, okay? So what we're going to do next is what I did was I just set my foam core board down and I just measured it with the actual piece here. And once you get this first measurement, I just kind of marked it. Where's my pencil? With my pencil. And you want to get the width, just kind of give it a little mark here. So now that we have our mark, we're going to find something curved. Okay, so you need something about this size. You need something that's kind of bigger so you can reach where the line is around to that edge real nice. Okay, you want it to be able to reach both places without any problem. You just take it and follow the line. So you'll end up with this. Okay, and now we want to cut that out. The secret to using an X-Acto knife is don't try to do it in one cut. Take your time and just go over the first time. It's going to be gentle. It's like drawing. You feel like you're just drawing on it, and it makes it so much easier to cut straight. You're just drawing with your X-Acto knife. Second time you get a little deeper. Try to keep that knife straight. And the third time's usually, see, breaks it open right there. See how nice that is? So what we're going to do is this is going to be, I'm going to make my outer ones first. Okay, these are going to be for the top and the bottom. So I know I need 4 up top and 4 at the bottom. So I need 8 of these. And I'm going to trace it out. Trace these on my board, so all I have to do is cut them out. Do that all the way up the board. Okay, I now have my 8 pieces of my corner pieces so that I can enclose the top. So we're going to take our X, I guess you could say, and we're going to start gluing these inside just like so. Okay? pretty simple. I just kind of move that. Make sure you've got plenty of glue in there. And just put some here. All the way up to this side. Okay? All around. And hot glue gives you a second to maneuver so that it doesn't dry wrong. So we've got it pretty good. So we got that. And then you're going to go ahead and do every side like that. Alright, as you can see, we now have the top and the bottom done. So now we just want to figure out how many shelves that we want per side. What I did last time was I just put, I put one shelf on some of them and two on the other, and I ever other wanted it. So you can put one in the middle and then one between that center. And so that means we need to count out how many more of these triangles that we need to cut. I'm going to want 6 more triangles cut. Okay, so on my new board, I'm going to go ahead and make a cut 5 inches wide and leave the 20 inches. So 5 inches, cut this, make sure you X-Acto knife straight. Okay, and we're going to need 6 of them, and this will give me 4, so I need 1 more of these boards 5 inches wide. So we want to mark with our pencil 5 inches, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then we want to make our circle to that line. Okay, and so I'm going to cut this one out and use it as my template to cut the rest of my 6 boards out. Okay, we have our 6 boards, and so now we can start applying them into the piece. And I'll just kind of look at the board like that, and I'm like, okay, that looks pretty centered right there. And that's where I will glue it in. Pretty simple. So let's glue our first board in, and you just put your dab of a pretty good amount of glue here. And we stick it here in the middle, just kind of eyeball it, make it look nice, but it's not the end of the world if it's not perfect. And then I kind of give it a squeeze so that I know that it's got a good hold. Okay, like so. And then I just move to the next side. So that one's right there, so I'm going to center it about right there. Push on it, let it dry a second. And then I'm going to put one more. Kind of center it like so. Let's get our last piece in. And centered. So we have all of our shelves in. So next we're going to put some borders on here to keep whatever you put in it, whether it be glue, material, craft supplies, whatever you put in it, it'll help hold it in. So we want as many of these little strips here. I can count them up. There's usually about 3 or 4 per side, but you can do whatever you want. This is more of a kind of whatever you need. And I went with the 1 inch, but you could make them as wide as you want. You can make them 2 inches. You can do whatever you want. So we've got, right now I've got 5 of these. So we'll glue them on and see how many more we need. So what we're going to do is we're going to glue them down here. And sometimes, depending on what you put in here, you're going to want another one up taller like that to hold it in. So we may use 2 on this part. So all you do is take you some glue and glue it in. Okay, take that and you just glue it into the bottom. Find it, center it in there like so. Really simple. Voila. Okay, and now like I said, since I'm probably going to use this for fabric or anything tall, anything that can bend, for example like this, then you're going to want a middle piece here to hold that in for you, okay? And for me, I'm going to probably go ahead and want another piece. So I'm going to bring it up a little ways, maybe around halfway, and glue that in. And voila. So we're going to go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and take my other sticks, and I'm going to fill it in, and then we'll go from there. Okay, so I've got those ones I had already glued down, and I know now that I'm going to need more. So I'm going to go ahead and cut those. Okay, so I've got me 9 more of my strips, and let's glue some of them on. Okay, so here we go. That is how that part looks. Isn't that cute? Can you see it coming along? So next, we're going to make the square that goes on top. This is going to be about a 1.5 inch strip. What you do is take your tape measure, and you just kind of measure from where the from one end of the triangle to the other. So you can be safe to say that we could make 7, 14, 7, 7, 7 all the way around and connect the squares together. And I'm going to show you a secret on how we do that. So now I'm going to cut 4 1.5 by 7 pieces. Now I'm going to show you a secret on how to connect the squares together. So that secret I wanted to share with you is how to get a really nice edge. And what you have to do is you want to take your board and you want to cut about 1/4 inch, 3/16 to 1/4 inch there, but don't go through both papers. Let me show you. Do is measure about 1/4 inch. Don't have to be perfect. And we want to do a light cut, okay? Now we don't want to go all the way through that other paper. And then once we get pretty far down, we can start lifting this paper up and getting rid of this extra paper. And once we do this, this is what's really neat with is just mainly the paper and just a little bit of foam in there, not much. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that to glue to this corner like so, and it makes it such a nice pretty edge. So that's a little secret I wanted to share with you today. And what you do is you glue on the piece of paper, just glue right in there like that. Just kind of make sure you have plenty of glue, and then you're going to lay the piece down that you glued and stick the foam board on top that's not cut out. And that way, lay it on a flat surface so that you're making sure you're making that square come out real nice. Okay? So, as you can see, it's a lot better than this corner. Don't you agree? See, that's the difference. So we're going to cut out, I'm going to cut 1/4 inch out on this little piece that I've already got, and just get in there and grab that foam and pull it out. So again, we have our pretty edge, and I'll get that last one cut, and we'll go on from there. So next what we're going to do is we're going to glue that to the top of the box. Now what I do is I go ahead and just hold it down. You go on the inside, it makes it so much nicer. So now you have your cute little box, and all that's left to do now is you can put this on a Lazy Susan, and I have one right here. You can put it on top of a Lazy Susan. You can cut a foam core board and glue that base down first. Then you can glue this onto your Lazy Susan. So now it's up to you to decorate it. Really, you can put bling on it. You can put like glued diamonds or whatever you want to do. That's what's fun. And if you want to, before you even start the project, before you glue them together, you can cover them in contact paper or material at that time. then glue them together. So I hope you've enjoyed this little tutorial. This is really a useful little storage area to add to your sewing room. So I hope that this has encouraged you to try to use some foam core board. And let me know if you've made something in the comments below. Let me know if you've made it and if you had success with it too. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And we'll hope you see you next time. Bye-bye.